We often have people at Second Pro Life come to us and say, how do I have these conversations in a useful way? We have a lot of people that we work with who are not traditional pro-lifers. And by that, I mean, they're not necessarily very religious. They're not necessarily very conservative. And so they tend to be in social circles that correspond to more pro-choice demographics. That means that their friends, their family, their coworkers, sometimes even their spouses are often pro-choice. And they want to be able to talk to the people they're close to, the people they love about this issue in a way that doesn't blow up for everybody. First of all, make sure everyone in the conversation wants to have the conversation, first of all. If there are people that you can tell they don't really want to argue about it, you got to give them space. This has to be a conversation people are agreeing to participate in. But secondly, if you have more than one person with you who is willing to talk about this, try to emphasize right from the beginning that your goal here is not to make them agree with you. Your goal here is not to persuade them that you are correct. Your goal here is for them to understand what you think, even if they disagree with it. And same in reverse. Your goal is for you to understand where they're coming from and why, even if you disagree with that. So you emphasize that the goal here is for us to better understand each other. If we can walk away from this conversation having a clearer idea of why we see this issue differently, I will consider that a success. I will consider that progress and helpful. If the goal is understanding rather than persuasion, it takes a lot of the pressure off. It makes it so that people don't feel like everything they say you're going to pick apart and try to prove why they're wrong. It makes them feel like it's not their job to make you agree with them. You're just, often for the sake of your own relationships, trying to have a better idea of where you differ and why, and trying to show them that we can have friendships and relationships without agreeing on this, and we can talk about it directly and still be okay afterward. Trying to make that space within the relationship to have that conversation.